Hey everyone. So in this video, I wanted to talk about the natural environment impact, or maybe the forest potential impact of this project here. So I'm in this bottom part of this section, 2.7, this first page. So yeah, they're saying it's this grove is large. Right? We have 60 to 90 feet existing trees. Um, and they open with these caveats, right? They're not maintained, so they're stretching dead branches, vines, whatnot. And then they have this significance criteria, so like quality, type of tree, um, and so based on the criteria, which is the type of tree and the condition, um, only 35 either tree or small clusters are identified for potential preservation. So, of the 10 acres, they're really only thinking, 35 trees are worth, saving really. And there's, more caveats here, right? They're saying that they need some repairs, I guess they're calling them mitigation actions to, reduce their risk of failure. So, um, it's not even like they could save, all of the 35 potential ones, right? Based on either if they fit into the plan, right, and or if they can be, restored, according to them, right? Yeah, it just talks about different trees that they found, that were interesting. And again, it's a small subset, right? We're only talking about 35, 35 trees here. Um, this part really, so okay, so they're gonna recommend here overall they should clear low quality invasive macaranga trees. Okay, it's first bullet, and I'm just gonna jump here. I'm gonna jump into the tree survey. This was their, in the appendix, their survey. They had a drone flying, and they were able to identify, I guess, the different tree types. And here in this orange is this that first bullet proposes that you want to remove all of these guys. And so we're looking at this first picture. East Manoa is running here up at the top. Here's the triangle, and again this drone footage. I guess it's a very wide, angle. It's kind of strange wide angle, but you can kind of see this is East Manoa Road coming up here. This is that stream. So we're looking at like the top parts. This would be phase 1 and 2 of the project. And I mean, just they're gonna remove straight up, right, this invasive orange. And then this is the bottom section. So this is again the stream, and down here's Lower Road. And again, this orange, these are the invasive that they gotta remove, right? So, I mean, that alone, right? Just removing what they're calling this invasive tree, that's a lot of orange, and they're gonna just be completely clear cut, right? I mean, they're telling them to clear that. And then in addition, they want to clear 10 feet from the bank edge. So that's more, more trees that they're gonna cut away, and some of these trees they're large and they're at the bank edge, almost like holding up like the walls. They're not real walls, right? But the sides of this drainage ditch that actually it can run vertical at points. So you know yeah, okay, you remove the trees, but then you can't just have dead roots. I mean, they're gonna have to stabilize, right, that vertical section, of the um, the drainage there somehow. And they're talking about there is some shrubs, a few shrubs that are currently along west side, which is the East Mano Road side. And so they're saying, well, after you remove all the invasives, you could maybe plant, similar things and try to fill this. It's more shrubs, like they're cut to be like shrubs. So the hibiscus, I think, and one more. Those two shrub like plants. And then lower roadside, If you saw in that picture, there's almost nothing right like that they're calling to save. So um, lands landscaping would be required, to cover up the view of these three-story buildings. And and again, Lower Road, it's kind of almost a misnomer here. It's above. I mean, it's lower than something, but it's above slope-wise this site. So the residents that are on the opposite side of Lower Road, they're kind of up a hill, looking down at this property, the site, and so um, anybody on that side, it's gonna be hard to visually block. They're gonna remove everything that's currently there, and maybe they'll landscape something, but it's not gonna look like it does now, right? Not even close, I guess. Um, and then that's root zones, blah blah blah. Okay, so let's. Yeah, so this is really nice phrasing here. So they want to say, right, no impact, and so they're gonna say no short or long term impact during construction or operation other than those discussed. So like other than that bullet where it says, oh, well, let's clear this tree, which is really 80%, and only 35 are worthy of protection or preservation. So yeah, other than that, then they're not going to do anything else. So I guess um, this is just the table of the trees, and I wanted to show this map. So let's try to get a little bit more here and just give you an idea of the scale of this whole thing. So East Manoa is at the very bottom of this map here, and Lower Road is going to be above the top. These are the four units in blue, the four footprints for the units, and there's parking lots you see kind of in front of East Manoa Road too. And these numbers, you can kind of see them. These are the numbers, the 35, potential um, things that are worth preserving. And again, it needs to not only be worth preserving, but also fit with the plan. So, I mean, unless they make drastic changes to this plan, I mean, there's a lot of these things that are like these are in buildings. There's no way, right, they can save these are like on a parking lot, probably unlikely. Again, these are inside the buildings, right, on a parking lot up here, on a parking lot. So of the 35, there's probably only a few. I thought maybe here there's might be a few here that are not in the parking lot, maybe a few here that you can kind of be around the parking lot, maybe a few at over here that actually are worth saving, and also not that don't interfere, right, with the plan here. And so yeah, I mean, just far as the forest impact, this idea that you can just carve out the space for these buildings and they'll be nestled inside of this forest, it doesn't seem like that's what's going to happen. I mean, they're calling for removal of 80%, right out the gate. 80% invasive. We could definitely clear cut that, and then only 35 trees are worth trying to protect. And yeah, there might be some shrubbery that they're gonna maybe preserve, but I mean, it's not gonna be able to be this canopy, right, that can hide these buildings, right? It doesn't seem like that's what's kind of gonna happen here. Okay, so that's the let me go back. That's like the tree impact, and this is kind of the animal impact, and I wanted to just speak specifically to this. So I mean, this is currently, it is a forested habitat, and animals currently live there. So it was identified in this survey, this white tern, the Manu Oku. This is the official bird of Honolulu, a native bird, and they're observed flying in pairs, roosting and calling. Okay, so although they said during the survey, no, chicks are breeding. Although they have to admit here, the habitat is appropriate for that to occur. So, I mean, this existing forest, this existing habitat is currently, home. It's fair to maybe think to these native species, native birds. This is the official bird of Honolulu. So, um, it's not. It's it's being downplayed, in there. It's only the official bird of Honolulu is the bird, that we saw here. Everything else is just invasive, and some are even on the bad invasive list. Like, so again, it's kind of like, um, they're painting this idea that it's not, there's not value here. They're saying there's just these garbage weed trees, and mostly invasive birds. So maybe there's no impact, to the, here. But again, I mean, this is a native bird that's was seen in this area, and I yeah, whatever you could say. You cut down. Oh, maybe there's 10 trees left. So hey, there's 10 trees left. Those birds can go there. We'll plant some new trees. But I mean, it's still it's still a loss, right, of habitat as well. So loss of forest, a loss of habitat, and whether or not, in 50 years you can landscape this thing to, kind of cover it, or look more natural. That's debatable, I guess. But definitely, there's gonna be a loss of forest and of this forested habitat that is, home to, you know the official bird of Honolulu, a native bird. So, um, yeah, again, that's kind of my take here on the forest impact here. Thank you for listening.